Derek Chauvin, the now former police officer who pinned George Floyd down, has been arrested. He's also been charged with third-degree murder, which is applied when no intention to kill is suspected. We're joined live now by Mr. Mayhem, a friend of George Floyd's family. It's good to see you. Welcome to the programme. How well did you know George?
I didn't know him very well, but he was a big person in our community here. And he was known, you know, he was a rapper from Houston, so he was kind of a small icon to us.
The protests, they've spread quickly with people marching as far afield as Berlin now. Did you expect this scale of reaction?
I did. I actually did. You know, people don't know, but this is like our maybe fourth police killing in our community. You know, we've been peaceful. You know, we lost Philando Castile. We lost J. Mark Clark. We lost Mookie. You know, these are a lot of people that we've lost, and we were peaceful. We had peaceful protests, and right now we're fed up. This is anger that's been boiled over for multiple deaths in our community. So I wasn't surprised by the reaction from this death.
The police officer who knelt on George's neck has now been charged with third-degree murder. Do you think that's going to calm tensions?
No, it's not going to calm it at all. When we found out that he was only charged with third-degree murder, they tried to, you know, implement a curfew for us. It didn't work at all. We're still angry. We're still angry behind that. You know, there were more buildings that burned down after we found out about the third-degree charge. It was definitely intentional. You know, third degree is unintentional. We're not happy with this charge at all.
And the National Guard has now been mobilised. How do you see things playing out? Are things just going to become more violent?
Yeah, you know, the protesters and the people, they're not afraid by the National Guards. Actually, you know, like I said, a curfew was implemented. You know, the protesters, you know, they're still out there. You know, they actually took one of the National Guards, their Humvees. They stole one of them. There are actually protesters that are out there that were shooting at the National Guards. You know, there's people that are angry and upset. So the National Guards, that's not upsetting us, and that's not moving the protesters at all. That's not stopping us from, you know, displaying our anger about this, you know, about this unactly just of violence. You know, he was murdered in cold blood.
So what's it going to take for this to come to an end, for the riots to come to an end?
For this to come to an end, you know, now we're just speaking of one officer. There's actually 4 officers that's involved in this crime, in this act of murder. We want them all to be charged with murder, at least second-degree murder, intentional. Because when you sit there and you have your knee down on a man's neck for 10 minutes, you know, and they're screaming and telling you that they can't breathe, you know what I mean? You know, you're intentionally killing this man. You know, people don't know they both were, you know, Big Floyd was a bouncer at a same place where this guy was doing security at. They know each other well. You know, this guy, this is like his second or third homicide as a police officer, as a peace officer. You know, we want the right charges to be, you know, presented. At least second degree intentional murder. You know, third degree, he can get 5 years, do 3 years, and be off. That's not good enough. We're not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. You know, you can implement all these curfews, this martial law. We're fed up. This is anger that's been boiled over. This is years and years and years of anger behind these senseless deaths. You know, we've been getting murdered in cold blood by the people that are supposed to protect us. You know what I mean? It's not gonna end well here.
You know George Floyd's family. How are they doing? How are they coping?
Yeah, I actually I don't know them personally. I just met with them. I hung out with them last night for a while. They're very hurt. They're very upset, but they have much appreciation for the city of Minneapolis for being outraged about, this justly murder that's been committed against their family member and their loved one. He actually was a guy that has a past history that moved here to change his life. He moved to Minnesota to change his life. And you know, they feel like, this is crazy. And they're very happy with, there's casualties. There's always casualties in wars, you know what I mean? And they're not necessarily, happy with, you know, the town being burnt down and people being hurt and things of that nature, but just the love that we've been giving them, and the outcry and the pain that they're seeing behind their family and their loved one. They love it so much.
If you were in charge, how would you respond to these events? How would you respond to the riots?
Well, the mayor himself, the mayor and the governor, they dubbed this as a murder. They know that it's a murder. The rep for the police, the union rep for the police, he's saying that this is justified. And that's like a spit. That's like a slap in the face. If I was in charge, I don't know. I would charge this man with at least second-degree intentional murder, and maybe the fires will stop. The fires and the looting and the rioting. This is outcry of pain from us. This is not our first murder that we've been involved with. This is continuous and ongoing for us. There's things that are been done that you guys don't know about. I've been a victim of police brutality. I have children, I have sons. I'm a head coach and a co-founder of a football team. I'm afraid for them. So it just has to stop. And as you see, the whole country is fed up. We have people in LA rioting. We have people in Atlanta, New York, Kentucky. There's deaths behind it. You know what I mean? We're just fed up as a country as a whole. We're pouring out our outcry and our hurt behind these things. So I would make the right charge, second-degree intentional murder, and make sure that there's a conviction, because there's a lot of police that get charged with these things, but they're never convicted. So it gives them the feeling that they have a license to kill. They can do whatever they want. They do whatever they want with us. This isn't this guy's first homicide. This is like his third. So this is how he goes about doing things. And whatever chip he has on his shoulder for us, I don't understand why or what's going on, but this is the way he moves. This guy needs to be charged and convicted with the proper crime. Second-degree intentional murder, at least.
There have been so many other similar cases to what happened to George in the past, but this time with Georgia, it does kind of feel different. This is being felt around the world. Do you think that, in a sense, this is the final straw?
It's definitely the final straw. If they don't react to this properly, it's going to be more fire. The city will burn. And that's my word. This is the final straw. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. We will not allow it anymore. We will not allow it anymore. We need for you, Governor Walz, everyone, we need for you to respond properly. Otherwise, we will continue. There will continue to be more fires. There will continue to be more looting. There will continue to be more pain and outcry through demolition. We don't want it that way. You know what I mean? I'm not in agreement with everything that goes on with this, but people are fed up. And it's not just blacks. It's whites, it's Asians, it's Native Americans. We're fed up. We don't want this to happen anymore. To see a guy on camera cry out for his mother that died a year before that, cry out and tell you, I cannot breathe, please, please, as he's in handcuffs. didn't resist at all, came with you along, didn't resist at all. He cried for his mother that died a year before that. For him to sit there and cry out and tell you that, we're upset, we're angry, we're hurt. I couldn't watch the whole video myself. There's a lot of people that grew up in that neighborhood, that know Big Floyd, know how good of a man and good of a guy he is, despite what the alleged crime he was, the crime that he was alleged of. We're not gonna have not one more murder by the hands of the people that are paid by our taxes to protect us. We're not gonna have not one more murder. We don't care what, by any means necessary. We don't care what we have to do to get the attention of you all to do what you're supposed to do. We don't care. That's the last straw.
And Mr. Mayhem, thank you for talking to us, and do stay safe.
Yes, ma'am.